So, I thought I would do something a little bit different in this video and just tell you a story about a hitchhiker. And I'll leave it to you to draw your conclusions. So, a man moved to a small town and he slowly got to know a few of his neighbors. He soon learned that most of the residents believed that one of the roads out of town was haunted, but he didn't believe in ghosts, so he never asked why. So one day, that man went to visit a friend in another town. He was enjoying his visit so much that he ended up staying later than he had initially planned. And by the time he left for home, it was way past midnight. There was no moon that night, and once he left the town limits, the only light came from his headlights. Soon it began raining, and the rain made it more difficult to see. As a result, it was almost too late to brake when the man saw that there was a woman on the road. So he jammed his foot hard, pressing the brakes to the floor of the vehicle, and the car swerved in the road before coming to a stop, just inches from the woman's legs. So normally the man would have driven off again, but it was so late and the weather was terrible. So he decided to offer the woman a ride. She got into his car, took off her wet hoodie, and held her hands up to the vents to capture the warmth. When they reached town, the woman directed him to her home, thanked him for the ride, and went inside. When the man got home, he discovered that she had left her hoodie in the car. He thought about driving back to her house, but it was so late he decided to go inside to bed and return the hoodie the next day. The next morning, he drove back to the house where he had dropped her off, walked to the door, and rang the bell. An older woman answered the door, and he handed her the hoodie. And he told the woman, "I gave your daughter a ride home last night, and she left this in my car." And then the woman started to cry, and she wouldn't stop crying. "My daughter was killed by a hit-and-run driver many years ago," she said. "It happened on the road into town, and she was wearing a hoodie just like this one." And that's the end of the story. Unexpected surprise endings. It's funny the things that go through people's minds when they're kind of in this state of confusion, disbelief. Sometimes you wonder if the other person's crazy. Sometimes you wonder if you're crazy. Sometimes you wonder if you have selective amnesia. Sometimes you don't know if you're dreaming or if you are awake. But sometimes it's interesting to have these unexpected events, because it really does get you thinking. It really does get you moving in terms of your thoughts. So I'm just going to leave it to that. I don't know why I felt like relaying that story about the hitchhiker. Maybe if you ever see somebody in the road, just maybe think twice before giving them a ride. You never really know who you're letting into your car. Anyway, thanks for watching.